Flat of British, subscriber channel, Lee speaking. This is a VanaVlog. If you've never watched one before, don't watch this, it won't make any sense. I just come across as a complete nutter. And in fact, even, you know, this channel, I mean, any of these VanaVlogs aren't going to make any sense. You need like my original channel, Flat of British Sub, which is coming back online this month, apparently. Although, you know, I watched John Levi's latest vlog this morning, and you know, he had a channel with like not very many videos on it. It was all about off-grid living, no copyright strikes, nothing like that. YouTube just fucking banned it. So that's, you know, that's a really bad sign, isn't it? You know. So I'm not holding my breath for my original channel to come back. So I mean, the only other option really is to go to Martin Leaker channel on YouTube and just watch all of his stuff, because we talk about the same thing. We're talking about the same things, but we don't necessarily say the same things. And there's lots of stuff he knows that I don't, that he talks about. So, but anyway, so I think I've got about 2 hours sitting around doing nothing because of the disorganised chaos of my company. I say my company that I'm in on at the moment. Well, even for people that know my VanaVlogs over the years, I'm sure the last 2 VanaVlogs I've done have been a bit confusing. And I don't imagine this VanaVlog's going to be much different. I'm still uncertain as to what has happened to me. The finer details of it, you know. Am I somebody else or not? You know, did I, it's like in my last couple of VanaVlogs, I just said to simplify things, world A and world B. You know, last month I was in world A. At the end of the month, I'm in this world B. And it is not the same place at all. So I can't decipher whether this Lee B in world B was always here, running concurrent with me in world A, or somehow I've transferred over to world B and replaced the world B Lee with world A Lee in world B. I honestly couldn't say exactly, except the only thing I know for certain are 3 things. 1, I definitely fucking died, and I'm still here, or maybe not. But 2, this is not the same fucking place at all. It's not the same place. Everything looks the same, but of course it would, wouldn't it? Everything's just repetition. And the third thing was, yeah, the wife, 10 years older, skinnier, older, just like a different woman. So, I mean, those things I know for sure, but as to what's actually happened, I just couldn't, I just don't know yet, I don't know yet. But as I mentioned on my last vlog, the whole thing about, you know, death, I mean, I didn't experience it. I mean, I felt something which I can't really describe, but I wouldn't imagine, I mean, I've seen on TV, movies, people have heart attacks. It looks quite painful. But I didn't have physical pain in that sense, but in any other way unimaginable, I did experience a kind of pain, yes. So I think the word is reiterate. I think I'm just going to reiterate what I was saying in the last vlog. I've kind of just, I've parked up outside, well, an Antiquitech building. It's a church hall now, but you know, you've got like those supports on the sides of the walls of this hall. It's only about 20 foot high, so it's completely unnecessary, which obviously means that it's a mud flooder. It could easily go another 100 meters below the current surface. Yeah, but I've sort of like parked outside, facing the approaching sun, dawn. Did you know that before the sun, well, I mean, let me just talk in the way that globers talk. So as the sun rises, before it actually hits the horizon, no, sorry, curve, before it hits the curve of the planet, the sky is illuminated, and if I remember correctly, it's the sunlight activating neons, neons in the sky. So that light isn't actually sunlight, it's illuminated neons. But anyway, I thought I'd just sit here and just might help me focus a bit, because it's such a difficult subject that I'm talking about, you know. So, life in Well Day, very intense, very, very intense. Very intense indeed. Everything was very intense. Just general movement in Well Day, which is where I'm from. Well Day. Everything is very intense. Physically, everything is intense. You know, when you work, you have to work fast. You have to be accurate in what you're doing. You know, procedures for doing things. You know, you're not allowed to make mistakes, you know, and if you make too many mistakes, you just get the sack. Everybody there is very highly strung. With one wrong word to somebody, people can completely flip out and go fucking ape shit. And yet, in that place, you know, if you do upset somebody and they do go ape shit, they go ape shit with everybody else around them about the thing that you've said, and then everybody goes ape shit, and then it just escalates completely. It's just completely mental. So, you know, there's something like in World A. Here, nothing. It's like you can say anything to anybody, and it just kind of doesn't matter to them. The importance of your words don't seem to be that. Don't have the same power. It's almost like this is a ghost world or something, you know. And for me, I'll tell you what I feel like. Like, this is me World A thinking. Like, the best kind of thing I could have thought of was that, you know, I had a mortgage and, you know, it was all paid off. And, you know, I took an early retirement at 55, something like that. And then the only kind of like concerns I would have would be utility bills and council tax, which is basically you have to pay for the right to live in this country, to have a home. If you don't pay the tax, just take everything, put you on the street. Well, that was World A. I mean, I'm not sure on World B here. But anyway, you know, that was the kind of thing that I thought, yeah, like retire at 55, you've got nothing much to worry about, just taxes and utility bills. And, you know, just do what you like, kind of thing. And I kind of imagine, what would that feel like? But in World A, I don't have a mortgage. In World A, I rent, and I have no future. And no possibility to get a mortgage in World A. But I mean, World B, I think the situation's still the same, but because everything is so completely different, it's so like retired, like chilled out. You know, I get up in the morning and I'm not groaning. I mean, you know, World A, you know, I'm almost in tears every time I wake up in the morning, thinking like, this is terrible, this is terrible. I'm totally at war all the time. I'm at war with the system, at war with their lies. And, you know, everybody I know, apart from Flat Earth British Community think tank, they might as well be my enemies as well. You know, they certainly weren't friends in any sense of the word. But here it's nothing like that. Nothing like that at all. And I can't even like bring up in myself, you know, that kind of like passion, anger, you know, anger on behalf of all humanity. Like in World A, like no one gives a just this fucking sheep, just and to view that in World A, it drove me mad, it drove me crazy. Just the inhumanity, just the way this small minority of people in the world just crucify the world, you know, in every way that they possibly can, and people just take it. And I was just angry for them, not angry at them because of their compliance. I was angry at those that made their lives a misery. And, you know, that was something that kept me going all the time. You know, but like here now, it just seems misplaced. It's like there's just no... Just even the deviousness of world government, it just doesn't... The intensity of it is like just not there. You know, just why kind of like say like it's like a ghost world. It's like the soul's been taken out of it or something. Something's not here. Something's not here in this place. You know, I try not to sort of like examine it and break it all down to try and understand what's actually going on. I just want to just tell you about, you know, this place and why I'm definitely not of it. Because I know it's true, but I think it's important. I think it's important because I am in a different place, and I think you people are different as well. You know, it's to find the details as to whether, you know, do we exist in many dimensions simultaneously? Are we spread out? You know, I just couldn't, I don't even know where to start with all that. I can't even begin to even think about all that lot. You know, I'll probably have to go onto James Brockhurst's YouTube site and kind of catch up there. That might help. But until I get my original channel back, I'm not going to bother doing anything really. So it should be just a matter of weeks now, 2 or 3 weeks. But yeah. So, you know, as I was saying on my last VanaVlog on my original channel, saying, nope, it's gone. Oh yeah. Yeah, I was saying that, you know, we don't really see anything new, you know, every day. It's supposed to be a new day. And everything's the same. Everything's the same. I mean, I said before that every journey to work or wherever it is that you go in repetition every day, for whatever reason, the journey's never the same. The timing's going to be different. Traffic lights are going to be red, green, alter your journey time. And so, you know, from that perspective, I was saying in the past that, you know, every day is unique and special, and nothing is the same. But that was about 3 years ago. But last month, well, no, last year, my last VanaVlog on my channel, I was saying, actually, no, everything's exactly the same. It's the same thing every day, you know. You get up in the morning, you see trees. A tree's a tree. Doesn't matter what shape or size it's a fucking tree. And houses, it's the same. They're houses. Doesn't matter what size they are. Doesn't matter if you've seen that particular house before. Doesn't matter. It's still a house. Roads, people, animals, grass, gardens, you name it. It's always the same thing. Well, that was World A, anyway. World B. Yeah, it's the same thing. It's grass, trees, concrete, glass, plastic, same shit. Just the same shit. Here, I didn't really expect anything to be different here. Well, I mean, I didn't expect this to happen, but you know, now I'm here, and now I notice, well, everything looks exactly the same, and I'm like, well, I shouldn't be surprised. Why would it? Why would it be? Why would it? It's just the same illusion, you know. It's the same thing every day. There's adjustments made to things so that things differentiate from one thing to another. At the end of the day, same shit, same day. The phone turned off and I didn't notice. I was just saying, like years ago, I was talking about sleep, and I'm like, what a complete fucking waste of time. What a stupid invention. Just fuck off, you know, fuck off. It's not normal, and I don't accept it. I don't just assume that it's okay. You know? Well, same with everything. I think that way. Did in Well Day. Yeah, stupid fucking idea, like lungs and breathing. Stupid fucking idea. Stupid. It's ridiculous. It's so limiting to what you can do. You know? It's a fucking stupid idea. Pathetic. You know? But, you know, back to the whole sleep thing again, and I was saying, like, every time you blink, you know, are you asleep for that split second? You know, you're unconscious when you blink. You know, and as to, like, waking hours from sleep, and I was saying that, well, you know, that's when you get your download, isn't it? You know, all the information piles into you when you wake up. This is you, this is your age, this is your culture, this is your language, this is your marital status, this is your geographical position, this is how much tax you owe, this is how much debt you're in, this is this, this is that, all in seconds. And then you rise up from your bed, programmed, ready to execute the software download in hardware mode. And I've kind of been thinking about that with everything that's happened. For me shifting over to here, World B, and it was in the twinkling of an eye, you know. At that moment, I had that heart attack, and at some point when that happened, and I said, nope, I can't let this happen. It already happened. I was already in this World B place. I didn't know. Allegedly, I'm getting cold right now. Yeah, every time I turn on the engine, I turn it off. Cuts off the video. So I was just going to say that in one sense, you know, what's happened to me has been a reset. Just keep that word simple for the moment. Okay, just reset. I'm not going to define it or anything other than just its basic meaning, to reset something. And it's kind of odd that, you know, the whole illusion of life is on a reset itself. Flat of British since Martin started it all. It's been about resetting. It's been about the reset of our world, and our history is a lie, because apart from the Great Flood, it won't tell you anything else. It won't tell you how many resets have actually occurred or anything. Some people have made comments to me and asked me, now is the mud flood the same thing as the Noah's flood? I mean, there just seems to be a constant flow of resetting going on. And so the thought that there has only been one is incomprehensible to me, because it's a constant reset thing, illusion going on. I mean, every day you get reset, you go to bed, you get reset for the next day. They call it something else. It's like, oh, you're tired. You're tired because you've got lungs and whatever. You've got lungs, so you get tired. What they say. But anyway, it's frequent. It's a frequent resetting going on. Every time you blink is a reset. And resets within resets. I mean, I don't know how many times I blink in a day. I don't know if I say like if I said that I blinked 30 times in a minute, maybe 20 times, so about 20 times a minute, and then how many minutes are there? 16-hour day. I mean, how many blinks is that? So how many resets on average do we go through every day? So is mud flood Noah's flood? Is it just one event though? How could it be? It goes against the narrative that we perceive every day. It goes against that. The missus had to. The missus got like she works in a school, and she got a snooty letter from the head teacher, not just specifically to her, but to a group of people of which she is a part, an integral part. So she wrote a snooty letter back, and email back, and I said, she asked me to like read over it for her, to ask me what she thinks, what I think. So I read it. So the beginning of her email in response had been to give the head teacher the information that she required, and then the rest of it was her retaliation to the head teacher, basically just sort of like freaking out over nothing, just having a hissy fit. And I said, okay, well, I said, well, the beginning bit's okay, honey? You know, the beginning bit where you gave her all of the information and everything. And then I said, the rest of you, everything else you've put on that email, delete it. Delete it. I said, and she said, why? And I said, well, you know, she's just like, you know, for whatever reason in that moment she was completely upset or whatever, I just got angry. Maybe she's on the blob, I didn't say that. I thought that. Maybe she's on the blob. You know, just fucking freaking out for no fucking reason. Or whatever. I said, just, you know, be the more mature person. Don't respond to any of the things that she said. Just give her the information that she wanted, which you've already included, and just leave it at that. And I said, I'm quite sure that, you know, in a day or two she'll reply to you and say sorry. You know, but she just whatever. And I say, just be the bigger person, kind of thing. She went, nope, nope. And she said, look what she wrote to me. And so she showed me what her teacher, the original email, and I'm like, you know, she's just like freaking out for just no reason. And then she started to argue with me, and I said, look, you asked me my opinion. I'm not telling you what to do. If you want to send that email as I've read it, send it. But you asked me my opinion. My opinion is don't. Just cut all that shit out, and everything will be fine. She said, well, I'm going to send it anyway. Now, in World A, the roles would be reversed. It would be me doing that kind of an email, and it would be her telling me, don't do it. Blah, 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 blah. It's just weird. It's a fucking weird place I'm in at the moment. Weird here, so weird. But yeah, as I'm saying, you know, I get up every morning at the moment. You know, I've got nothing to groan about. There's no impending doom at my doorstep every day. It's fucking weird. It's like I'm on retirement. Yeah, so weird guys, weird. I don't know if well, I mean, people, like, since I started VanaVlogging after the event, people saying, oh, I am different. I do feel a bit different. Oh, by the way, I got permission to drink over the weekend, so that was good. So I had a bottle and a half of wine over the weekend, so that was nice. So the Flat Earth British Convention, I think Bath is in Kent, so rather than Torquay, because that's fucking miles away, I might end up going to the Bath one. It's kind of symbolic, really, because like when I became a Christian, I was baptised in the Bath. It could be like another baptism. FEB World B baptism in Bath this year. What's that? Just more watery wickedness, as Martin would say, you know, baptism. Oh yeah, got to be buried at sea. although it's supposed to be symbolic in Christianity, baptism is supposed to be death, not cleansing. You know, when you think about it, I should have a flask with me today. If you think about it, you know, what is baptism? That'll stop if I turn this off. We breathe water. Air is water, not very dense, and water is air, but dense. And so, you know, what is baptism in water? You're just going from one media density to another, and then back again. And, you know, that's what we talk about on Flat of British, you know. The sky is just water. Dense, more dense than the sea. More dense than the air that we breathe. Just all the same thing, you know. For me, Christianity is just like everything else, just an illusion, all part of the illusion, all doing the same thing. And then, like, you know, Jesus turning water into wine. He says, I only do what I see my Father doing. You know, I'm just replicating what's already there. I'm just replicating. I'm just doing the same thing, you know. A vine? No, what? Grapes? Vines? They're called trees, do they? No, they're trees. No, olives are vines. Grapes. They're trees, aren't they? Yeah, grapes grow on trees. They take the water, transfer it into grapes, and then the grapes into wine. So I guess that under some circumstances, grapes can fall to the ground, ferment and turn into wine. I don't even care. But, you know, Jesus is just saying, sorry, there's nothing new under the sun. I'm just doing what's done anyway. You know, it's just all part of the fucking illusion. It's all the same shit every day. It's houses, Jesus, Bible, grass, animal, insect, cloud. Can't touch a cloud. You can see it, you can't touch it. As with everything else, you know, you can't actually touch anything. It's all an illusion. Anyway, I don't want to think too deeply on that at the moment because I'll just get lost. So back to this place. I feel like I've aged 5 years. Physically, I don't seem to have the same strength that I had. And I'm not drinking anymore, so I should have got back. If this was well day, I'd have half my strength back. And it hasn't happened. And then the wife is 10 years older. So, you know, I don't know if this place, the density of the place is different or something, and my mind hasn't quite yet sort of hasn't assimilated the fake environment. I just really don't know. I really don't know. But this whole reset thing, I'm going to have to kind of like compartmentalise that as something big, as a subject, you know, the whole thing about the whole reset cycle of life, you know, and just put it there as something to sort of like, you know, pay attention to. Because if resets are as frequent as a blink, then it's as fundamental as to the illusion of sight and touch. I still wonder about World A, you know, what's going on there, you know. And what's that got to do with this place as well? I mean, if I died in World A and then, you know, I'm sure that would have affected Flat Earth British. You know, I don't know if they would have found out by now that I was dead. I think it would take a while for the wife to post something on Facebook and then people that know me on Facebook to realise. But I was definitely on a mission in that world, and I definitely got to it. I definitely finally fucking got to it. Finally got to it. But I realised after the fact that I'd got to it. So, you know, obviously, I'm obviously forced now into sort of like reevaluating what I am, because I never expected that to happen to me. I never even thought of such a thing. I never even thought of that. You know, I mean, I watched Niven on YouTube, you know, watch his fractal videos and stuff. I haven't watched it since, you know, any of his stuff since. But, you know, I was kind of familiar with the possibility of there being other dimensions, although, you know, I wasn't completely sold out to it or anything like that. You know, I just thought, well, you know, it's a possibility. We've been lied to all of our lives, so my every point of reference is just lies. Someone's calling me. Yeah. That was distracting. Now I can't remember what I was talking about. I just don't know what to do here. What do I do here? I don't know what to do here. I mean, I sound like Lee from World A. I mean, if I was like Lee from World B, in World B, and somehow, you know, World A, I mean, it just doesn't seem quite right. That Lee in World A fucking dying and then coming over to here as a, like an add-on. So like I'm Lee B, like with a fucking demon or a fucking ghost of an alternative Lee from a different fucking universe, dimension or something. It doesn't feel like that. I feel like completely me in a scenario, and I'm just like, the fuck is going on? What the fucking hell's going on? You know, that's how I feel. That's how I feel. I can't even tell you how I feel. I can't really. I think I said there's a lot less people here as well. There is a lot less people here. I don't believe they're all cooped up in houses working from home either. I don't believe that. Don't believe it. I mean, I think I won. In Well Day, I think I won. You know, everything that we were trying to do to change the world. I mean, it was already in motion, as it were. We knew that about 3.5 years ago, Martin and I. You know, we realised, you know, it was out there. That, I don't know if it was so much truth, but more the exposition of the lies. You know, it was the lies that had been exposed to the world, and people couldn't argue against it because the logic was pure. Well, I don't know what phrase to use. You know, I mean, you just couldn't fucking argue with it. It's just in your face, you know. We knew it was dangerous, but then we had nothing to lose. You know, but it happened, you know. And then, like, for the last couple of years, you know, we just polishing it up, you know. Just little bits that didn't quite make sense, you know, just those little bits, just finding them out and then putting them where they should be, and you know, it was done, you know, it was job done. So why the fuck am I here? In this place? I mean, it's not as potent, this World B is not as potent as World A. And because of that, it's like, you know, why would I bother with this place? I mean, I thought World A was the only place. Now I know, being in World B, it's not the only place. And now, why haven't Flat Earth British achievements in World A? Why is it not? Why does the achievement not reach here? Or am I the achievement? You know, was the result of everything that we were doing actually going to realise me to escape death, to go into another dimension? And what the fuck is the situation I'm in now, and that realisation being the end game? Why would it be? What the fuck has this got to do with World A? This has got nothing to do with that place. It's like, it's a different place. Looks the same, but everything always looks the same anyway. Even in World A, everything always looks the same. I mean, you know, in one sense, this is like a heaven, in a sense that, you know, the fierceness, the brutality, the war of the soul, the war to be set free from containment. What's that got to do with this place? I don't even have that feeling here. I want another coffee and I want to pee. What do I do? I'll find a petrol garage. Back again. Back again. Can't take that phrase for granted anymore, can I? Back again. I was just thinking, kind of like on my way back here to continue the vlog, probably for another hour, till my colleague turns up. Which was, I was thinking, well, what if World A was reset and now World A is World B? If you see what I mean. Because I was thinking before, I'm like, you know, if I'm in another dimension now, and clearly my wife is of another dimension, clearly, because it's just not possible what's happened to her in a matter of weeks. It's not possible. So I thought, well, if that's anything to go by, then everyone else is different as well. It's not the same. World B is not. So I don't like that idea. So then I was thinking, well, what if, because everything's a reset, isn't it? You know, the whole experience of life is like a constant resetting. And I'm like, well, what if, you know, the world around me, affronting me, you know, maybe Flat Earth British actually did that, and the world has reset to World B, and there is no World A. But then, why does my wife look different? You know, that's the problem. But then everything's an illusion anyway. I'm just like, what am I going to do here, guys? What am I going to do? I mean, I feel quite happy at the moment, you know, in the sense that I'm not, there's no, like, doom sitting on my shoulders every moment, every day. There's nothing. What always pissed me off in World A was that you've got this whole ridiculous fucking thing with birth, you know. And thing that I hated about that is, like, you know, everybody's born completely fucking stupid. You know, just like can't even fucking wipe their own arse, feed themselves, nothing. You know, just, and everything's like brand new. They've never seen it before, and blah 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 blah. You know, and because I know it's a reset, even, you know, in Well Day I knew it was a reset system, and that just really fucked me off. You know, especially because, like, going to nurseries and stuff with my job, you know, and just seeing, you know, this utter stupidity of toddlers, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, your previous life is just fucking, it's been fucking like raped from you, kind of thing, you know. It's really pissed me off. But I kind of find myself in a situation where I've like been born again, but I retain all my knowledge. I mean, I kind of fantasised about things like that in Well Day, but not under these circumstances, you know. I just sort of thought, oh, it'd be great to go back in time, the time machine, and then, you know, go back to a certain age, like 7 or something, you know, and then just fucking change everything. But I never envisaged this. It's kind of similar, but it's not. And I've been sort of like carefully asking questions of the wife about things from the past, and she said, you know, as I remember, so does she, you know, because that was one of my tests to sort of like try and work out what the fucking hell's going on, you know. I know this place is different, but like, how different is it? You know, just, I mean, so far everything seems to be the same, but the potency of it is just missing. It's completely missing. People don't seem to get like upset over nothing because they're already fucking upset. And you just need a trigger, simplest thing to just fucking set someone off. It's not like that here at all. It's fucking weird. The whole thing about this reset system, and I've obviously, one way or another, I've been through a reset. Just what do you do? What do you do? And I obviously can't come from the perspective of that there is a God, and so there is therefore a divine purpose for me being here. I mean, you know, the whole thing about life being as it is an illusion, the whole concept of, you know, having a purpose in this world and etc., etc., it's as ridiculous as the illusion itself. Just that consideration, you know? What's my purpose in this illusion? What is my purpose? I don't have a purpose. As for a reason, deception, to make me believe that this is what life is, when it isn't, obviously. Really, well, I don't know if you do, but I instinctively already know that. And years of research has gone to prove that it was true. life really just serves no purpose other than to deceive people, to hide them from what they truly are. Just everything just seems to work to that end. Everything does. I just can't find a point of reference outside of the illusion. That's the problem. I was definitely fucking cut in half. You know, my soul. Fucking straight down the middle. So, I mean, that's a point of reference. I mean, in the movie The Matrix, at least in World A, you know, the scenario was that, you know, the Matrix had been reset at least 1,000 times until everybody was kind of like, could accept a particular type of world. You know, it started off where everybody got whatever they wanted, and it carried on. Nobody would accept that kind of a world, and then it was different, and then it was different, and then it was different. And this kind of like feels a bit like that. I mean, maybe it's irrelevant whether I'm Lee A in World B or World A's become World B around me. It doesn't really matter one way or the other. But I definitely experienced something inexplicable. Oh yeah, I was kind of like thinking, you know, I guess I could pretty much do anything now. In this place, I don't feel the resistance. I feel no resistance whatsoever here. And yet at the same time, I feel that anything that I did do just wouldn't make any difference, like it did in World A. You know, it was fighting fire with fire. And like here, it's like there's no fire. And so, you know, it's pointless me kind of like lighting that lamp. That Olympic flame thing, whatever they call it, you know. It's like, what's the point? Exactly. There's actually a point. And I can't go with the whole thing about there being a purpose. I mean, if the only purpose to life is to deceive you into thinking you're something that you're not, so you're subdued, contained, you're a slave, you're imprisoned. You know, if that's all that there is, and things around you could change, shift, to create, to make like a pathway a dead end. You know, that can happen all the time in this place, because it serves no other purpose than to deceive you and to get you going round in circles going nowhere. That's all this place is. It's its only function. It doesn't have any other fucking purpose. There isn't any other purpose. It's like I've been sent home from war, you know? I say home. Debriefed, whatever the word is. Well, Elite A, in World A, I was always searching, thinking like, you know, how do I get rich? You know, because in that world it's the only way, there's just no other way. There's no other avenue, path given to a man or a woman to escape slavery. You know? But then in doing so, you have to reinforce the system with your riches to keep them by enslaving other people into working for you, making you money at their expense. You know, that's how that world works. This world, oh, you know that, yeah. So that's the only way that I could think of. That it was money, but like here. But no, there I was kind of like looking for another way. You know, like common things like, you know, let's get a community together, stop using money, just trade things, fruit, veg, meat, whatever, clothes, whatever, just trade. Make your own stuff, exchange, don't use money, no taxes, you know, that kind of thing. But I kind of like find myself with that answer in a completely different scenario, but it seems feasible that I can achieve that kind of freedom and ability to gain anything completely disjointed from World A and the principles of that world. This is a different place. I only have to apply my mind. And the fact that there's just not that resistance here might mean that I can get away with it, because the knowledge that I've taken from that world to this world, this place isn't prepared for it. This, you know, the system of what the nation of world government, they don't seem to be the same. Oh, by the way, hi Jens. I didn't know you were still watching my stuff. I do wonder about you, you know. Well, I say I wonder about you in World A. it'd be great if like everybody here was from World A, and World A had actually like changed to World B, where I am right now. You know, that would be better, I think. But then you'd have to incorporate everybody. That includes the nation of world government, and they're planning to extinguish all life, all human life. That would mean they would be here, but they don't seem to be here. Yeah, I mean, I'm not like Martin. I don't know if you've ever visited Martin. It's worth it, really. If you can visit him, it's great. But you know, he cannot stop talking. Like, you know, if you meet up with him, he can't stop. He's got so much information going through his brain all the time. You know, me, just fucking just empty, fucking empty in my head, just empty. I just look at things and consider them, you know. Don't. But then when I talk about what I see, stuff that I remember comes up, and I use it as reference points. But that's it. That's all I do. You know, I haven't got like maps from the 15th, 16th century in my head, you know, and how they differ from one another geographically, and like California being an island in the past rather than part of the mainland. And it's just not there, just not there. It might come up, but moment by moment, there's just nothing, there's nothing there. I'm just kind of like in this fake experience, like, what the fuck, you know? That's it, you know? That's all I think about, like, the fuck is all this? And why is everyone fucking accepting it? Like, no, everything's normal, everything's fine. You work, you die. Have babies, that's it. What's the problem? You know, but me, I'm like, no, look, fuck off. What is this fucking shit? What the fucking hell? What is this? No, sorry, no, this is bollocks. And stop giving me all this shit, your definitions of what life is. I don't want to fucking hear it. You know, you're compliant. You're fucking compliant with it. I'm not fucking compliant at all. You know, I resist the lie. I resist. But whereas before, well, day, it was like an active resistance. Now I'm kind of like, I'm done. I'm fucking done. I did it and I'm fucking done. You know, so now I'm just kind of like in a default mode of like, give a fuck about anything. You know, I don't give a fuck. The values of life, right and wrong, monetary morals, economical morals, cultural morals, just shove it up your arse. I don't give a fuck. But I don't have that ember burning within me, as it were. It's just not there. I'm just sort of like indifferent. I'm like, whatever, just fuck off and just stop fucking existing. To everything, really. When I think about it, but most of the time I don't think about anything. You know? I have a job to do every day, places to go. Think about them, don't think about anything else. Unless something comes up in my mind, you and I think, oh, maybe I should do a VanaVlog, or think about a previous VanaVlog, and I'm thinking, well, I'm reading the comments, and then they might say, oh Lee, you know, you're so lost, you look so lost and confused, and I'm thinking, well, did I actually want to give that impression when I did my last video? Did I want to give that impression? I'm like, well, no, that wasn't on my mind, but then I guess that's the impression I gave. And then I'm contemplate that, am I actually lost, as it were? And I guess to an extent I am. I've lost my world. I've lost world A. But, you know, what's the word? The combination of the fierceness and the potency of that world, of my out and out war against it. Is that what killed me there? My heart just gave up and I died. Just massive fucking. And I dropped where I stood. I don't have any memory of that, but I'm just guessing that's what happened. You know, the things that I come out with as part of Flat of British, in World A, no one would say the things that I said. No one. I mean, I was like a fucking, like a guru or a fucking messiah, or, you know, just some kind of like cardboard cutout. Just ultimately just another fucking distraction in that world. Here, I don't think anything of that world is relevant here, which is a bit weird. So yeah, I guess, you know, I do feel a little bit lost. It's kind of like a partial amnesia, you know, it's like you took a knock and then, like, you've gone, you know, you wasn't lost to family and friends or anything like that, you know, you just had an accident at work or something, you know, and then, you know, you go to hospital and, you know, you was concussed or whatever, and then, you know, your family pick you up, take you home, or maybe you've got no family and you just go home on a bus, you know, and you get back to your area and it kind of like seems familiar, but you're like, it doesn't seem like home, you know, because like something's gone, you know, something's gone. It's like that in a different way, but, you know, the sense I get, you know, it's kind of like that, except there's no amnesia, but it just feels like that. Oh yeah, by the way, I've been trying to monetize this channel, and although I had no copyright strike since I started this one, I still had some videos, and like they're kind of like flagged, so it's okay for them to be on my channel, and they're not copyrighted, but you couldn't make money from them. I didn't care because the content was good. So then I tried to monetize it, and it went, no, you've got to have absolutely nothing copyright, nothing whatsoever. It's got to be all green. And I had to wait another month. So that was January. So then at the end of February, no copyrights at all on any of my vlogs, you know. Rejected until the end of March. I can reapply again, 22nd of March. And why? Because I had Martin's vlogs and Wise Up's vlogs on my channel, and even though they didn't put a copyright on me or nothing like that, and it was all green and it was all clean, YouTube said, no, fuck off. No, these channels, you know, they make money, and so because they make money, it goes against our guidelines for you to put their stuff on your channel, even though they haven't copyrighted it. Now you've got to wait another month to reapply. So I've had to delete everything except what's mine, except the last picture vlog I put up. I like that saxophone song. I just wanted to put it up. I mean, I've got a month to get rid of it before I reapply, so it's kind of like fuck you, YouTube, for a month. So just put that up. I mean, I could have kept Wise Up and Martin stuff on my channel until the end of the month, but anyway. But as soon as I get my channel back, I'll put Martin and Wise Up stuff back up, and others as well. Only like within Flat Earth British, because you know it was just like random videos from other YouTube channels that had nothing to do, didn't have many views on their vlogs. It was them that got my channel banned. You know? I just suspect that the system got in contact with them and made them an offer they couldn't refuse. To just bollocks, fucking colleagues here. Flat Bridge, just another day. Actually, today was Friday. Yeah. I think the first part of this vlog was like Monday or something, but you know, it's just been one of those weeks, really. Can't do what I want to do, having to interact with other people, and as you know, other people, they don't think straight. It's kind of like directionless, you know, in their perception, and then therefore everything that they do is just haphazard, non-directional, just achieving nothing, wasting time, and vamping on other people. When I say that, because all the time I work with other people, I just feel like I'm getting vamped, you know. Oh, vamped is when somebody just takes all of your time, you know. You're just there. Maybe they won't stop talking, and when they won't stop talking, they don't stop actually like moaning and complaining, whatever. Just taking from you, you know, just taking your attention, you know. And they might say to you, oh, you know, what do you think about this, what do you think about that? But I don't care. I don't care. They just want me to acknowledge they exist, which is a fundamental thing that I've actually learned over the years. Is, you know, the main motivation for everybody deep down inside is they want to know that they exist, and they go by many ways. to try to get people to evaluate their existence. So for example, they may want to make you cry and upset you. I'm not saying that's been like with my colleagues. I mean, I've finished with that part now. I'm just saying people, like people in general, you know, they might intentionally just try to upset you. And if they achieve that, then for them, they've validated their existence. That's why they do it. And then you've got other people that will try to make you laugh. Again, just trying to validate their own existence. And everything, in fact. That's just two. The clothes that they wear, you know, does it have an effect on other people? And if it does, validates their existence. And it's behind everything that they do. Even helping people, charity type people, do-gooders, just trying to validate their own existence. Anyway, that's not why I started the VanaVlog. So I have to go back to a Wood and Nichols vlog I mentioned at the beginning of this vlog. It wasn't his vlog, it's one he copied. So go onto his YouTube channel. It's like 4 or 5 before. And I've already mentioned what it was about. But for my brain, I've been thinking about it a lot. A lot. Oh yeah, so like I'm jumping into what you call reality. Now, at the beginning of this vlog I was talking about world A, world B. I'm from world A, now I'm in world B. It's weird, but I'm not looking at things from that angle. I'm just looking at things from I'm going to talk about things from my angle, from both places, and the illusion, but from the perspective that it's actually real. So you're Brian, you're Brian. It's never seen daylight. It's in a coffin. The skull is a coffin for your brain, you know? It resides in total darkness. Yeah, it just resides in total darkness. So that's one thing. But when it comes to your sight and viewing, the light that enters your eyes doesn't reach your brain, and you don't have any eyes in your brain, and so you can't actually receive light into your brain. You know, like your eyes, they don't actually, like the back of your eye, it's not your brain, you know, it's like a ball. And then when you get to the back of the eye, there's not a hole that goes into your brain where light flickers on and off depending on what you're looking at. No. Utter darkness. And the vlog that I was talking about, wood and nickel site, well, yeah, just, you know, it pretty much says the same thing. It says that when it gets to the back of your eye, you know, there's not a hole, you know, there's just like veinage, something like that goes into your brain, but it doesn't carry light, it carries electrical signals, apparently. That's what it says. As to whether I believe that, I don't know. I try not to. Well, I mean, I just don't know if that's true. I don't need to use the word believe. So what that means is, physically, if everything is real, is that everything that you think you see, you actually think you see. Because when you think, that's not seeing. Although, you know, we're kind of like programmed into thinking that what's going on in your brain is actually what's going on outside. You know, so I can see a tree, you can see me on a screen, but you can't. Your brain doesn't see. It's a simple fact that completely destroys absolutely everything, you know, and it's so simple. I like this world, B. Things are so simple now, you know. It's easy to just look at something or observe something and then break it down, you know. So that's number one. Number two. If I'm not mistaken, and it's actually true, then I do recall being shown on many occasions that the brain doesn't feel pain. So what that means is, I mean, you've seen it in movies like Hannibal Lecter film, where I think like someone's eating somebody else's brain, but they're still alive because there's no pain in the brain. So the brain doesn't have pain. Oh, sorry, can I just go back to the sight thing and the brain? If sight doesn't enter the brain, then it's an illusion, what you see. It's just made up in your brain. got to keep it simple. So, yeah, pain. So if I touch something, if I took my cigarette right now and stubbed it out on my hand, I would apparently experience pain, but I'm not. My brain can't experience pain, right? So what is the point of reference for me Brian to experience pain if my brain can't experience pain? And what is the point of reference for my brain when it comes to sight and perception when my brain has no point of reference for light or vision? Simple. I mean, if you was to ask the right questions, you know, of a scientist that's not paid by a local government or not under the control of a government, so there would have to be someone that was retired, because anybody that works in science is controlled by the government system. So you'd have to ask someone, you know, that was retired, and you ask them, you say, what, you know, what exactly is the brain? You know, exactly, because like it's got no point of reference, and yet everything that it deals with, you know, how does that work? I mean, it's a load of mush in the skull. It's a load of mush, apparently, with like electrical impulses going all around it and stuff like that. So, but you know, what is the brain? I mean, you know, if you've got a dead frog and put electrodes to it, you know, you could make it spasm. Yeah, but I mean, is the brain spasming with the electric currents running through it? You know, is it that? And if it's simply spasming, which I don't think it does, what has that got to do with thought? What's that got to do with calculations? What's that got to do with, you know, can you explain that to me, please, Mr. Scientist, retired? And they'll tell you, if they're honest, I've got no idea. I don't know how it works. It's all based on theories. And so all I'm saying to you guys is, okay, you know, it's nice to have theories, but you know, when you just simplify things, it's the theories don't even work, you know, don't even make any sense, just illogical completely. Goes against the physical nature of the world. Your brain is in a coffin. Oh. Yeah, well, I mean, what do they say? I mean, they say like, you've got nerve endings all over your body, and they are directly connected to your brain. And the same with your eyes, you know, they've got nerves in them, and then as your eyes are exposed to light and darkness or whatever, those nerve endings transmute all of these sensations to your brain. So your brain is just not a singularity, it's actually a legion of demons, if you like. It's a complex mass. So I mean, you know, that's bollocks, because number one, the brain feels no pain. And Wise Up, on the Wise Up channel, he did a vlog 3 or 4 years ago showing where there have been people born with the brain size of a walnut all their life, you know, and then for whatever reason they've gone to hospital for a MRI scan, only to find out that these people have a very small brain. I'm sure you can Google that. A very small brain. And yet these people have lived full lives and had no idea that their brain was that small. And it didn't change the functionality of their body or anything. So if it come down to, you know, the brain being the main thing, well, no, that's clearly not true. And there's been people that have been shot in the head and survived, you know, been in explosions, and they've lost half their brain, or even more. They've only got 1/3 of their brain left, you know? And yet they carry on living a normal life. In the sense of being a functional human being, being able to, why can't I say that word, contemplate? Yeah, why not? Contemplate, and calculate, and drive a vehicle, no problem. So that just proves that that's a load of bollocks as well, doesn't it? Just bullshit. So the conclusion I came to, forgetting everything that I've said in this vlog up till now, until I started the new one anyway, is that everything that you perceive is your brain. It's actually your brain, because it's making it all up. Your brain, your Brian, is making everything up. You know? Its only point of reference is itself. You know, it's never seen anything, it's never touched anything, it's never felt anything, etc., etc. Its only point of reference is itself. And so therefore the whole human experience is your brain. Everything you think you see exists in your brain only. It's yeah. And I guess that's why, you know, in the past, when people have been able to achieve things that are completely physically impossible, the reason being is because of their own brain. alternative, alternative, alternative. That's a good word, isn't it? Alternative. A native from an alternative reality. Alternative. So what if the whole human experience is just simply equivalent to a brain in a glass jar? I mean, if the physical world is an illusion created by the mind, then there is only the brain, and everything else doesn't exist. And so what's the difference between a brain in a physical body and a brain in a glass jar? What's the difference? There's no difference. Because the whole world is a figment of the imagination. Oh yeah, about the whole Antarctica shelf. Right, at the moment we've only got one sun. Right, we've got one sun. And so on a flat plane, the single sun's rays only reach so far. And so we have the Antarctic wall shelf at so many thousands of miles. At a distance from Mount Meru. If it's still there. But geographically, I mean. So just for say's sakes, let's just say that from the North Pole, the Antarctic wall on a flat plane is 600,000 miles away from the centre point. The circumference starts at 600,000 miles, I've got no idea. If you had two suns, it could be double that. So instead of 200,000, that's what I said, it would actually be 400,000 miles away, the Antarctica shelf. And then all of those continents that are covered in ice wouldn't have been covered in ice. And so the last reset all of the survivors would have come from those continents that now are covered by Antarctica. Following the sun, you know, because they would have been in a world where there were two suns. Now, however it happened, I don't know. You know, that second sun was extinguished, and now it's the moon. And I guess that those people would have started getting quite cold and probably realised that they needed to follow the sun. I guess I'll follow the sun. So that's what they did. They followed the sun. And as they approached our new world, going only as far as New Zealand, Africa, South America, the world behind them froze over. And it could have been a gradual thing over time. And if that, you know, I mean, like moving from those places to our world, you know, it could have happened over a couple of years. And of course, it would have been very, very cold. And so those people, being in that environment, you'd have to dress in black, because it's black that the sun interacts with to warm you up. So that's why they all turn up. You know? When we see them in the 1800s, everyone's wearing black. So that's why we have the Antarctic shelf, the Antarctic wall, because the second sun was extinguished and the first sun, its rays only reach so far, and so of course, you know, that's going to happen. So that explains that. It's simple. It's simple. But then there was a time when there were 3 suns. Right? And we see that in what's it, the 12, 13, 14, 1500s. So there would have been even more land. The Antarctic shelf, if there even was one when there were 3 suns, that would have been 600,000 miles away from Mount Meru. Might have to stop for a minute. Yeah, so you know, by the rules of this place, you know, it's just doesn't work, you know. And I guess, you know, you can argue against what I say by kind of just quoting your indoctrination, your historical indoctrination, and current indoctrination that happens on the radio and the TV and the newspapers from government, you know. But that's what everybody does, and everybody's still searching for the answers to life. So if that's how you want to live, go ahead. You know, talk about physics, talk whatever you want, religion, whatever you want. Just join the masses. Who just wander around aimlessly, not knowing the right questions to ask, just being completely closed-minded. It's now the end of the day on Friday. Still not finished. It's been a strange day. Oh, if I turn off the engine, let me turn off that. Probably not. Just leave it there. So whatever way you look at it, there is absolutely no way that life exists. There is no way. There's no way. Doesn't, it can't. It simply can't exist. And it doesn't exist. And I was talking about the Brian, but the Brian is part of this place that doesn't exist. So your Brian doesn't even exist. Which, you might think, well, why did you spend an hour talking about the Brian then if it doesn't exist? Well, I asked myself the same question. But, this stuff comes up, I just got to talk about it. Just got to talk about it. Because if you ever have the conversation with somebody, and then, they just like parrot everything they've ever been told, you can at least try and reason with them to show them just how absolute nonsense everything that they're saying and believing in is. So this all goes back to the whole thing that life is an illusion, that we're not here, and that whatever this thing is or isn't, it's not us. And it's, believe it or not, a really dumbass thing to do, to try and identify yourself or recognize yourself if your whole concept of yourself is based on this world that doesn't exist. And that's just a flat fact. Flat fact. I mean, if I completely ignore what I've just said and just talk bollocks from here on out, I could say, well, existence is the personification of your soul, which has no form, has nothing to do with this place. Actually generates this place. So everything you see, touch, feel, experience is just all within your Brian, which, may be a personification of your soul. But, even that's just total nonsense. Just nonsense. Total nonsense. I know what the time is. I've got less than half an hour. I can leave. Of course, although I'm happy when I get up in the morning, I still wonder what's going on exactly, you know? Why is this going on? What is this madness? What is this? Even from the perspective of this world was real, the way we live is just completely mental. I mean, it's not consistent with reality, you know, nature. Politics, competition, theocracy. You name it. You know, it's just what's the necessity? I mean, animals, they communicate with each other. They have the capacity to increase knowledge through conversation, and you know, even instinctively, they have knowledge without learning, and yet, you know, they don't evolve. To destroy the planet, etc. Well, it's just complete madness. The whole thing is just complete madness. The animal kingdom, the human kingdom. Oh, they're incompatible and blah blah. I mean, it's just fucking bollocks, man. It's just, you know, they just come out with these theories. It just raises more questions than answers. Questions is, can you even validate that theory? You know, so they just keep talking and talking and talking and talking and talking until you're sick of asking fucking questions and you're fucked. You don't even want a fucking answer anymore, you know? And there will be books and books and books and books and books in libraries full of shit. Words after words after words after words after words that have no answers. You know? It's kind of like an illusion. People look to books to give them hope. People look to books to give them personal validation that they exist. But the reason being is because everybody knows that they couldn't possibly exist in the state that they've been deceived into believing. You know? But everybody knows deep down. They're like, nah. Deep down, they know that everyone's just walking around assuming everything's okay. And they know that it's wrong. They know that if they consider themselves as a thinking human being, they want definite, precise, accurate truths, answers. You know? And of course, because there aren't any, although there are lots of books, they just ignore. They ignore it. They ignore their instinct that they know. They just ignore it. Like they ignore death. Everybody ignores death until maybe, I don't know, they get into a situation where they think they're going to die. Whether that be danger or old age. You know? And only then they will consider it, but not out of choice. And they may seek to escape death. But day by day, it's the last thing on their mind. Even though deep down, they know. You know? They know they're going to die. I mean, really, you know, if this was like real, this place, and you've got like kids growing up, 8 or 9 years old, and they say to a relative or somebody, am I going to die? And the person will say, yep, you're going to die. And then they might say, well, I don't want to die. And then the person will say to them, well, there's nothing you can do about it. It's normal. It's natural. Everybody dies. So just get over it. Words like that. But I mean, if people were really free, if this world was real, the whole world would go into a state of panic, thinking, oh my gosh, I don't want to die. And I know that because when I apply my mind to the same world view as everybody else, but because I'm conscientious, I don't shy away from scary questions. You know, I do experience a state of panic, like, oh my gosh, I'm going to die. And then, you know, I try and find answers. But most people don't. Most people don't. I mean, even religious people, they don't. They still don't accept it. You know, they think of an afterlife. You know, I think, oh, you know, we don't really die. We just sort of like go over to another plane. Sorry, we go to heaven, or you know, we might be reincarnated and come back. But in doing so, they're ignoring death, you know, in their reality, which is their reality. You know, I mean, they're just being disingenuous to themselves. They're lying to themselves. They're obscuring death. Yeah. Fortunately, it's all bollocks, including life. So if life doesn't exist, how can death exist? You know, when you think about life as well, it is a real onslaught. You know, it is relentless. It's constantly just, I mean, if I said trillions of trillions and trillions of trillions of trillions of trillions of trillions of trillions of trillions, and I said that for an hour of movement, things moving. Oh, that's how deep, how thorough that illusion is. You know, it just doesn't fucking stop, you know. Even when you're asleep, your heart's beating, you know. Even when you're sleeping, you've got REM, rapid eye movement, dreaming, you know, you name it, perspiring, farting, just doesn't stop, just doesn't stop. Just so many distractions. And it really is the combination of it all that makes life seem so real, because you don't have time to think, you don't have time to step back, because you're just pulled into everything all the time, you know. And whatever you're pulled into, it's just a gazillion things going on. And yet it's instinctively, we know it's not right. You know? We know it's not right. What's the time now? If it existed, 15, 17 minutes. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird VanaVlog this, because, I don't know, it's spanning days and hours. Bollocks. But yeah, I mean, I can definitely see it in, like, human behaviour. You know, the way they behave. You know, the whole thing about relationships. You know, again, it's just like, am I real? You know? If I touch you, if you touch me, then we're real, right? And that's how people spend their life. You know? If I break your heart, does that mean I exist? And if you break my heart, does that mean you exist? Because if you weren't there, you would have broken my heart. But of course, everybody knows that they don't exist, and that's why they seek to validate it. You know, otherwise you could just look in the mirror and go, look, I'm there. Or, you know, I'm looking at my phone right now, and I'm like, oh, look, I exist, look. I'm digital, I've got a digital mirror here. It's like saying to me that I do actually exist. So then, from that moment onwards, I would need to behave like every other human being, seeking to validate my own experience, would I? Because, well, I saw myself in the mirror this morning, and I could see myself on my mobile phone right now, and, oh, that hurt. So I must be real. Okay, that's it. Oh, I don't need relationships with people then. You know, I can keep that to a minimum. I can just live on my own. I don't need to get married. I don't need to, is the word, copulate. You know, I don't need to copulate so that then, when I die, you know, I can, like, produce a sprog to carry me on. So I'll just carry on. So I've kind of escaped death. But of course, people do look in the mirror every day. And some people do slap themselves in the fucking head. And some people do vlogs on the internet. and they can see themselves replayed. And it's as if it doesn't matter, because they still go around trying to validate their existence. Right, I'll get to 45. I'm fucking gone. So back to my world. All things considered, what's been happening to me recently, and you know, I say it's like I died and I've been like transferred to another dimension or something like that, which I struggle to define. But you know, at the end of the day, and there is no day, but you know, at the end of the day, it's just the illusion. It's just a change of scene. It's just another variable. It's just all part of the same thing, you know. Which is why I always struggle, you know, to... I can't validate myself because it's an illusion. I can't validate myself. What was I going to say? I can't validate myself. Oh, and because of that, I can't validate anybody else, you know. Or what what I mean to say is that, you know, I can't validate any other human being or anything. I can't validate it because I know it's an illusion. So I'm not actually sure that people really exist, you know, or animals. See what I mean? That's my problem. Because if I don't exist and I'm here and there's people here and they do exist, but they say they see me because they cause me grief, then they validate me that I'm actually here. But of course, I'm not. And if I'm not, they're not. So I kind of like feel alone. But of course, there is that kind of, I mean, the technical illusionary term is synchronicities. So, like on Flat of British, there's an awful lot of synchronicities. But, you know, that's a word. That's a word. For me, it's a connection with others as to where they actually are. You know, I really don't know. Don't know. This is such a fucking head fuck. You just wouldn't believe it. It's such a head fuck. I mean, I'm just looking around, you know, but you know, I'm not even here. And going back to you know, what I was saying this morning, you know, the possibility of, you know, your own individual human experience is you interpreting something physical the problem with that is that it's a lie. It's a lie, because everything is interpreted by your brain, and your brain has no point of reference. So, you know, you could just be like a jellyfish, you know, in an ocean, and then, you know, maybe you're kind of like carried by a current and hit a rock, or get swallowed by a whale or something, I don't know. But then, you know, if a jellyfish doesn't have eyes, you know, what's going on in its brain? You know, what images or sensations would the brain of a jellyfish conjure up? You know? I mean, I can look at the jellyfish and say, like, huh, it just got swallowed by a whale, you know? For the jellyfish, no idea. No idea. You know, it was sort of like, oh, I was cold, but now I'm warm. I like it here. Because you can't see. And really, we're in a kind of the same situation, in that whatever our environment, however we interpret it, it's not the full picture. In fact, it doesn't even exist. You know, what we've constructed as our worldview, as our life, our perception. We've got 1 minute left, 1 minute. Fuck off. I'll start writing this now. There is one thing I've never mentioned in all of this, and it's the entertainment value in everything. No access, nobody on site. No keys available. 11th of the 2nd, 22, 15:45. Customer signature unmanned. Interesting selection of words there. So I think that's it for this VanaVlog. Okay, so yeah, I made the extra effort today because Jen sent me an email and made me feel bad, and so that's that. So catch you later.